Insight. The first ever series to analyze the unexplored aspects and issues of Carnatic music. Dear Rasikas, welcome to the 22nd episode of our Insight series. In the previous episode, we had discussed about the Varnam, what a Varnam actually means and what its basic structure is. But the Varnam as such is a beautiful genre and there is so much more to it, so I thought I will discuss about it more in detail here. With regarding to the composing of a Varnam, it is not that easy in the sense that it is bound by a certain grammar. There's a certain code in terms of how it should be constructed. And this is in contrast to a Kriti, where you see that there are so many composers of Kriti actually. And also later we'll be discussing about the Kriti in the sense that the Kriti encompasses a wide range of structure and form. Kriti as such means something which is created, but then each composer has given a different dimension to the Kriti. But the Varnam as such is a more structured form. So whoever the composer is and to whichever era he belongs to, we see that there has been a symmetry in terms of the way the Varnam is composed. Be it Patnam Subramania Iyer or those of his times or later composers like Lalgudi Jayaraman, we see that all of them have maintained a certain pattern. And that's why we say that also there are not as many composers of Varnam as we would see for a Kriti. In fact, I also remember how once T.R.S. sir, T.R. Subramaniam sir used to mention about how one lady brought a book of Kritis to him and said that overnight she was inspired and she composed all these Kritis. So Kriti is something which just comes out as a venting of our emotion, whereas composing of a Varnam requires some understanding of the Raga Bhavam, understanding of the structure of the composition, understanding of the methods and so many more things. Now coming to the Varnam in terms of how the Akara is very, very predominantly used and how uniquely it's used in the Varnam, I would like to compare this with the Akaram that is used in a Kriti or a Raga Alapana. In a Varnam, we see that the Akaram is more like what we call as something like marching, how one marches, where there is a structurally a controlled kind of a movement. In Kriti, we see that it is like walking in a more relaxed manner. When you walk, you really don't measure your movements. Sometimes you walk fast, sometimes you walk slow, sometimes you walk steadily. So there is a difference in the speed or the Kala Pramana. And when it comes to Raga Alapana, I would say that it is more of a freedom in terms of how we employ the Akara, in the sense that it is like, a child hopping, jumping, and then just walking, crawling, like that. There are different kinds of tempos involved in the Akara. Let's look at a practical example. We'll take the Ragam Mohanam itself here to see how the Akara operates in a Alapana, in a Kriti and a Varnam, to get a better understanding of the importance of this Akara, because we always say that practicing of the Varnam gives a lot of voice facility to the student. So the reason behind it is the usage of the Akara in a very unique way. Now in Mohanam, suppose I take a Alapana. Tadan Now I use more of faster Akarams. could see that in the Akaram there is a mixture of various kind of Kala Pramanas here. In a Kriti again, though it is bound by a Talam, we see that the male kalam, the kil kalam of the swaras all get mixed up to give you that Kriti form. For example, if you take the small composition, I'm taking Gopika Manoharam. Gopika Manoharam Bhajeham Govardhana Giridharam Suravaram Muragaram Gopika Manoharam Bhajeham Govardhana Giridharam Suravaram Muragaram Gopika Manoharam Bhajeham Govardhana Giridharam Suravaram Muragaram Gopika Manoharam Bhajeham. Now comparing this now to I'll take the most popular Ninnu Kori Varnam in Mohanam. I told you before how it is more like marching with regulated movements. Try to sense that when I'm singing the Varnam now. Ninnu Kori Yona Nore Niki La Loka Nayaka Nanno Lipa Samaya Mura Na Mita Kripa Jubu Udagara Gari Gari Sari Sari Sagari Ga Sari Sada Sari Gari Gapa Gapa Dapa Gapa Dapa Da Sari Ga Re Ga Sari Da Sapada Sari Ga Sadapa Gari Sari Ninnu Ko. I'll sing the same thing in the second speed. You can sense that feeling of marching all the more, like Ninnu Kori Yona Nore Niki La Loka Nayaka Nannu Liba Samaya Murana Amita Kripa Jubu Udara Gati Gari Sari Sari Sagari Ga Sari Sada Sari Gari Gapa Gapa Dapa Gapa Dapa Da Sari Gari Ga Sari Da Sapa Sari Ga Sada Gari Sari No Ko. So you could see how there was a regulated movement of all the vowels here in this particular Varnam. This you can see as an example in many Varnams. Whatever Varnam you know, you can just look back on that and see how this Akaram has been very significantly used. Also, I was talking about the Kala Pramana, where you see that the Kala Pramana is either the Swaram is in a particular tempo or double the tempo only. It's not like, you know, for example, if you take Pankajalochana Pahibu Rantakaya Pankajalochana Pahibu Rantakaya. So in this particular thing, if you notate it, you will see that there are different Kala Pramanas involved within the same Sangati. Whereas when you take a Varnam, it is regulated and in a particular tempo. That is also very, very important thing I wanted to share with you. Then coming to the Bhava aspect, as I said earlier also, here since the Sahitya is not important, we see that the Raga Bhava, the idea of every composer has been only to bring out the Raga Bhava. Let's take an example of a Todi Varnam here to see how the whole Varnam actually brims with the Raga Bhava. So we really are not bothered about what is the theme he is trying to convey or what is the sahityam, that all becomes very, very immaterial, and ultimately it is only the todi which stands out. And that is also the very purpose of a varnam, that is bringing out the various facets of the raga in different dimensions. So actually the sahitya actually becomes more like a tool, and sometimes we see that also the sahitya becomes the accent points actually. It's just to split the syllables at different points and give them the accent that the sahitya serves the purpose. Otherwise actually the sahitya does not have any significance. Let's see a line or a few lines of the Todi Varnam, where you see how he tries to bring out the contour of Todi in the typically in this Varnam. Inta chauka se mera ga dura na sa mi baru nekal na Shri Venkatesha Sukumara Naldelu Kora Sarasu Desarisani Danisa Nirini da Pamagama Padani Dani Sani da Nisani Risa. So after the Sahitya, the Swara comes, of course. So whether it is Era Napai or whatever be the Sahitya, the ultimate aim here was to bring out the essence of Todi. And also here we would see that the Swarams are not mere Swarams, but if you look at them like, if you are looking at it through a microscope, you will see in a magnified form when you see it, you see how the intricate nuances of all the Swarams have been employed to bring out the Bhavam. For example, here in the same Swaram, Sa re sa ni da ni sa ni re ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni sa ni da ni sa ni re sa da ni da ga re re ma ga re sa ni da ni ga re ni re ni da ni da ga re ni da ma da ni ya ra. Here the charanam of the Todi Varnam is very, very unique. I don't know how many of you would have observed it also, in the sense that the charanam line incorporates the pa. The pa, of course, is very, very important to Todi as the pivotal point, like pa pa da pa ma ga ga ma pa ma ga ri sa re ga ma pa da ni da pa. So pa, as we all know that when we are singing elaborate alapana, the pa becomes an area where a lot of patterns can be woven. But interestingly, all the four charanams that come, the charana swaras, you see that the pa has been totally avoided. And that again is a very beautiful approach, where you see that when the pa is not there, how the notes get their own color. Let us see the charanam here, to see it more in an intent manner. Dani matalu vide yilta saga samelara. Here the pa was there. Now the first swaram, ga ma ga ri ni re sa da ni sa re ga ma da ni ma. Second one, da ni da da ma ga ri sa ni sa re ga ma da ni sa ni da ma ga ni ma. Third one, madani sani dani sani dari sani da da maga mani da madani sada ni da magari sa da magari sa re ga ma dani sari gari ni da magari ni sa re ga ma da ni ma. I won't sing the other two swaras. You can go back and check on that to see how even in that the pa has been totally avoided and how the whole swaram has been constructed. Here it's also very, very beautiful to see how after the swara ends on the ma, the connection is to the dhaivata, a swarakshara again here. So, da ni da ma ga ri sa ri ga ma da ni ma da. There also again he has avoided the pa and linked it in mada, the phrase. So that is again a very, very beautiful approach to Todi. So this is again an insight, I would say, that the composer has tried to give us as to how a ragam sounds in a different dimension. Like this, if you look at each of these varnams, every one of them give you some kind of approach to the ragam. As I said earlier also, the first phrase of our Saveri varnam, Sara Sudaya Ne. So, where again the insight of how the Gandhara, which is there in the Avarohanam but not in the Arohanam. So what is the Shruti value of that particular Gandhara and how it has to be used in its context, like Sari Gari Gari. Like this, if you examine every Varnam, you will see that the Raga is given to us in terms of the notes, because as I said earlier also, a Varnam contains more than 50% of Swara passages. So observing these Swara passages, looking intently into these Swaras, help us to understand the nature of the Swaram, the movement of the Swaram, the Gamakam which has to be incorporated in each Swaram based on the context of the Ragam, and many more such things. So that way we see that the Varnam as such is a big revelation to us to understand the structure, scope and canvas of a Ragam. We will continue on this topic of Varnam because there is lots more to share with you, because we not only have the Tana Varnam, then we also have what is called as the Pada Varnam, which is another beautiful concept of creating a Varnam. But with this, we will end this particular episode. If you do have any questions or feedback, do feel free to email or WhatsApp to us. Thank you very much. Namaskaram.